One day, every tongue, every tribe, every nation will be worshiping God around His throne. But do you know about 1/3 of the world's population have never heard of Jesus? And they live in some of the most isolated and most persecuted parts of the world. And despite of Christian effort, the percentage of Christian believers have actually decreased compared to world's population, except in places where ordinary disciples, ordinary Christians are making disciples, planting churches, multiplying churches, and unleashing church planting movements and disciple making movements. In our nations, we want to focus on communities that have minimal or no believers, no Christian workers, and no churches. We want to be like the Apostle Paul, who was the greatest missionary ever, who said, "It has always been my ambition to preach the gospel where Christ is not known, so that there is no place left where Jesus is not known and loved and worshipped." Our nations has 4 catalytic hubs in various parts of the world that have trained and sent out more than 300 workers who are now planting thousands and thousands of churches in 44 countries. A recent example is our disciple makers in Uganda, who have planted over 1,000 house churches among unreached people groups, among Muslim refugees, in the ghettos, in impoverished neighborhoods, in the urban core, and in the rural areas. And that is what our nations wants to do. We want to unleash this kind of disciple-making movement among every remaining unreached people and places of the world, among people who have never heard of Jesus. We are living in the most exciting and strategic time of history because we can actually see the finishing line of the Great Commission, and we can begin to count down to 0 unreached people groups. And that is why in our nations over the next few years, we are going to plant more hubs in every part of the world so that we can mobilize more direct resources and we can train and send more workers from every part of the world to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ in every corner and be part of finishing the Great Commission in this generation. In our nations, we like to say that we are not a mission organization. We are a worship organization because our purpose is to work missions out of a job by establishing the love and knowledge and worship of Jesus Christ in every heart. Because where there is worship, there is no more need for missions. It is only heavenly worship.